How do you fast track a good credit score? Fantastic question. So the first thing to think about when you're trying to fast track your credit score is know exactly what your current credit score is. So I personally use Experian. Very, very good website. You can sign up for an account very, very easily. Other companies out there are Equifax and TransUnion. I haven't used those two. I've only used Experian. I think they're fantastic. And just check that all the information is correct on there. Check that your loans, mortgages, credit cards, addresses, all of that stuff is correct. If there's anything wrong on there, dispute it. Because if there is anything wrong on there, it's probably giving you a slightly worse credit score. If there is anything wrong on there, just dispute any of that information before you take this any further. If you have got something wrong on there, it's probably giving you an adverse credit score. So always get that stuff sorted first of all. In response to how you can improve that credit score, once you know what that credit score is, it will probably give you guidance on there. But a couple of tips from me. Number one, make sure you always pay your bills on time. Super, super important. Hard to do sometimes. That's why I'm smiling, because I do sometimes miss bills. If I've been traveling, unopened post. But it's super important that if you've got any loans, any utility bills, any credit card bills, get them paid on time. If you persistently pay bills late, credit score will get worse. Got a poor credit score, it makes obtaining credit in the future that little bit more difficult. The second thing that I would mention is try and reduce credit cards where you can. And I don't mean cancel credit cards. Having credit cards is a good thing for when it comes to credit. Just try and reduce those balances where you can. That's super, super important. Low balances on credit cards are better. Number three, try to avoid opening lots of credit cards in a short space of time. So to a lender, or when it comes to your credit score, that really just shows that you're a bit desperate for cash. You're going online, you're trying to get cash, you're trying to get credit, and lots of new account applications in a short period of time just makes you look a bit desperate. So try and avoid that if you can. Number four, increase credit limits where you can on credit cards. Let's say you've got £5,000 that you've spent on a credit card. That credit card has a limit of £6,000. If you can increase that credit limit from 6,000, even if it's 6,500 or 7,000, depending on what the credit card company, the lender will give you, that will improve your credit utilization ratio. So having 5,000 spent or owed on a credit card that has a £7,000 limit, is far better than having £5,000 owed on a credit card that has a £6,000 limit. So if you can increase credit limits without using that extra credit, that's super from a credit score point of view. Number five, if you can diversify amongst banks, that's always good from a credit score point of view. So if you had all of your loans with NatWest, for example, that's not going to massively improve your credit score. If there is a way that you can spread those loans out amongst different banks, diversification. Number six is always make sure you keep going back onto Experian or whatever it is that you use to monitor those scores and see if there's any improvements that can be made. So I had to get credit for something recently. I forget what it was, but I had to go onto Experian to get a credit report. So I went on and my score was 1 point off. So I think it's out of 999 with Experian. It's either 999 or 1000. And I was 1 point off. Really, really simple. I'd moved house within the last 12 months and I hadn't registered my new address on the electoral website. By doing that, logging onto the electoral website, put my new address on there, it pushed my credit rating back up to where it needed to. So that's a good little tip for you as well.